Hi there, and thank you so much for joining me back on my channel. If you're new here, I'm Arelis and welcome to my happy home. In this video I'm participating in a collaboration. It's an open invite hosted by the lovely Dimitra over at SweetSavant. I will leave a link of her channel in the description box below, so you make sure you go over to her channel and show us some love and support. Dimitra, thank you so much for letting me participate in this collaboration, even though I'm not using pumpkin spice. But thank you so much for hosting this collaboration. So by the title of this video, you know that we have to share with you a recipe with pumpkin spice. And as some of you might may or may not know, I'm from the Netherlands. And unfortunately, here in the Netherlands, pumpkin spice is not available in the stores. So for this recipe, I will be using something very similar to that. And it's called speculaas kruiden. And maybe some of you already heard about this or even have tasted it already. But anyway, it is so good, and it has, like I said, it's very similar to the pumpkin spice, and it has some similar herbs in it, like cloves, like cinnamon, nutmeg, and stuff like that. So the only thing that is lacking is the pumpkin spice itself. But yeah, that doesn't make it any less good. So for this recipe, I'm going to show you is the, how we call it here in the Netherlands, gevulde speculaas. And speculaas is some type of cookie that we have here, and we often eat it here during the fall season. And this is my very first time I'm going to try this recipe myself, because usually I just buy it in the stores. But I thought, yeah, it's so simple, and why not share it with you? And I think you can easily make this with the pumpkin spice that you have available. So yeah, again, I want to thank Dimitra for hosting this this collaboration. And if you want to see my gevulde speculaas, which actually means something like filled speculaas cooking, then please keep on watching. Just for the purpose of this video, I'm going to use the measurements in grams, but I will leave in the description box the measurements in cups. But yeah, for this recipe we're going to be needing some self-raising flour. I have here 200 grams of self-raising flour. I have 100 grams of dark castor sugar. Then we're going to be needing as well some butter, and I have 140 grams of butter. We're going to be needing 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and we're going to be needing 2 teaspoons of this speculaas spices, but of course you can use the pumpkin spice. And that's just for the cookie. And for the filling, I'm going to use this pre-made almond paste. And you can easily make this yourself, but just because time was lacking, I just bought this package. And we're going to be needing, for the decoration of the cookies, we're going to be needing these half white almonds. So yes, this is a very simple recipe to make, so let's get started. Basically what we're going to do is we're gonna mix all these ingredients all together. And yeah, let's just do that. We're just gonna use the flour, mix it with the sugar, and then we're gonna add the butter, because there's no particular order to be doing this. I will be cutting the butter in some smaller pieces, because that's easier to work with. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to put everything together, and then we're just going to mix it all up. this is the dough that you are left with. It's very pretty, very soft, and but as you can see, it crumbles as easily too. And what we're going to do now is we're going to wrap this and put it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. Just leave it there for 30 minutes, and then we're gonna finish up this recipe. So just like this. Then I'm going to put this in the refrigerator. And in the meantime, if you want to make the almond paste yourself, this is the perfect time to do so. I will leave in the description box below also the ingredients to making the almond spice, but I won't be showing you that because I just don't have the ingredients at hand. So I got the dough out of the refrigerator, and it's been, I think, about 45 minutes. So a little bit more over 30 minutes. But anyway, what we're going to do, we're gonna split the dough in half, because we're gonna need sorry about that, we're going to be needing like 1/2 for the upper part of the cookie and 1/2 for the lower part, for the bottom part of the cookie. So let's just cut this in half. About that. And then we're just gonna roll it down to a nice flat piece. So what we're going to be doing now is we're gonna put the almond paste on top of the cookie. Well, that didn't go so well because the paste was really tough. So what I did, I'm just trying to make it a bit more softer so I can put it on top of the cookie, but it's still quite tough. I think it would have been better if I would make this myself, but okay. We're just gonna have to work with this, and I hope that this is going to be the way that I want it. So we're just gonna put small pieces of the paste onto the cookie and leaving just like maybe an inch or so off, because when we're gonna put the well, I can't talk, where we're going to put the top bottom of the top part of the cookie, then we have to use the sides to press it well together. So I went ahead and made the top part of the cookie, and in the meantime my oven is preheating on 170 degrees Celsius. So now we're going to try to put this on top of the cookie with the filling. I want to make it a little bit more flat. To do is we're gonna top it off with I use one beaten egg, and then we're just gonna put that on top of the cookie. It's ready to go into the oven. So like I said, the oven is preheating at 170 degrees Celsius, and it's going to bake for about 30 minutes. So after baking exactly half an hour, this is what it looks like. And doesn't it look so pretty? And the almonds are all baked now. So as you can see, around the edges is a little bit darker, but that's okay because it doesn't have the filling. And we're going to be using the inner part mostly because there's the filling. So after baking for 30 minutes, you take it out of the oven and you let it cool down for about 15 minutes before you cut it up in pieces. So we're going to leave it like this, and I will be right back after 50 minutes to cut it up, and so you can see the inside of the cookie. So I've let it cool down a little bit more than 15 minutes. It's been cooling down, I think, for about 25 to 30 minutes. It's still warm, but the baking plate is completely cooled down. So now you see that it is quite hard as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this up and see what the inside looks like. And I am really excited about this because it's my first time, and I hope that this just works out the way I want it to. So yeah, let's go ahead and start cutting the cookie. I just don't even know how to cut it, but okay, we start down in the middle. And as you can see, this is what it looks like. So, well, the edges are pretty tough, so we're not going to be using those. this is the final result, you guys. I wish so much that I could let you have a piece of this gevulde speculaas, because it really tastes amazing. And I've been looking it up, the pumpkin spice, and earlier in my video I mentioned something about actual pumpkin spice being in pumpkin spice, but well, I think that the speculaaskruiden are almost identical to pumpkin spice, so you can make this recipe yeah, just using the pumpkin spice, and it will turn out just as good as this. So yeah, I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the description box below what you think, and I would really love to hear your thoughts on this. And thank you, Dimitra, so much for hosting this wonderful collab. I really had a fun time. For me, is stepping out of the box, because I'm not a baker, and I really did have a good time. So thank you so much for hosting this challenge. If you are new to my channel, I would really love it if you would consider hitting that subscribe button and joining me on my journey. So thank you all so much for tuning back in, and I hope to see you again in my next video really soon. Have a very blessed day. Bye.